Welcome to today's masterclass. Today we are going to kickstart the escapism season. So the first thing that we're going to do today is ground ourselves a little so you can get relaxed. So I want you to inhale through your nose and then exhale through your mouth. So we'll do that together. Inhale, hold, and then exhale. Let's do it again. Inhale and exhale. And then during this season, I want you to really focus on what you want to achieve. And this session is going to be a way for you to kickstart a little, get to know me a little, and for me to kind of introduce what is working, what is not working when it comes to inner work, and how can you move forward this season. So kind of to prepare this season, I want you to either bring out a notebook, bring out notes on your computer or your phone, maybe light a candle, make some tea, do something that makes you feel a little cozy. And this session is really about you and helping you kickstart this season. So first of all, I want to introduce myself a little so you know who I am and what I've been through, my journey. So just to introduce myself a little for those of you that don't know me. I am Charlotte Johnson, and I work as a somatic coach. And that means that I help people remove the resistance that is keeping you stuck through somatic exercises. So my work is based on the methodology, the shift method, which is built on heal, release, and rewire. So this method helps you to regulate your nervous system, release stored tensions that you have in your body, and rewire your subconscious. So the difference between traditional coaching and somatic coaching is that we work with the body. So traditional therapy or coaching can be more talk therapy, helping you sort out what you need help with. But we are really going to go into the body because that's where a lot of things are stored that is affecting your success. So my method, the shift method, is something that I developed that helps you shift into your highest self by working with the body. So when you're doing this work, you really regain your energy, your motivation, your focus, and clarity because your body is finally feeling safe to expand. So it's a theory that helps you to move towards your goals, and that's something that I teach in my coaching. So my journey started a bit rough. I had daily anxiety and I was actually diagnosed with chronic anxiety. I didn't get any help to solve this or heal this. I was basically told that I would just have to learn to live with this. And that was an answer that I didn't want to accept. And if you're struggling with the same thing, you don't need to accept that either. It's a terrible answer because I personally don't believe a chronic anxiety exists. Anxiety is just a body's way to communicate with you what needs to be released, what needs to be shifted. And once you start releasing all these things, the anxiety will decrease and eventually disappear. But anyways, I was suffering from panic attacks. I got burnt out, and my state in my body was always on high alert. So I couldn't relax. I procrastinated a lot. I woke up stressed. And all of this ended up me being unable to focus. And it was draining so much of my energy. And it just came to a point where I needed to find a solution. And that's when I started to realize that it was all in my nervous system because I wanted so much. I had so many visions, so many ideas, but my body was saying stop all the time. And that was the resistance. So once I figured out how to heal the nervous system and did that successfully, I started to heal my anxiety. So right now, like, I don't have anxiety anymore. It will still come back sometimes to like nudge me if something is not good, if something needs to be shifted. But going from daily anxiety to having like small nudges every there and there, it's such a shift. So I really like that was the biggest shift of my life, to be honest. Like, I don't even recognize the person that I was before I started to heal my nervous system. Like, I was so stressed and my body was just working against me all the time. It was like this invisible wall that just kept me back. And I just wanted to force and push and hustle and go forward. But since I learned how to regulate my nervous system, I got my energy back and I was able to get into a flow and I was able to start achieving my goals. And it's life changing for me. And I see it in my clients as well. What happens when they start regulating their body? It's such a transformative process that it's so cool. And today, like, I have made a copy, like an exact copy of my vision board. I live on the beach. I wake up hearing the waves every morning. I have built a business where I can work from anywhere, something I would not be able to do if I wouldn't have healed my body and started working inwards to fix everything that was blocking me from that level of success and like having the courage to go after what I really wanted. And I want everyone to be able to reach their goals and like be the best version of themselves, whatever that means for you. So that is kind of why I'm doing this season, because I want to help people to get started, because it can be really overwhelming when you're doing it yourself and you don't know where to get started. So that was a little about me and where I come from. Um, So today we are really going to kickstart this season together. And we're going to talk about the escapism blueprint that you can create for yourself. And we're going to talk about how you can reach your goals. So I'm going to go through like the results that you can expect after doing this work for yourself. And we're going to start actively in the end of this session to start creating those goals and starting this process together. So I will guide you through that. So we have an exciting session ahead. So just going a step back, what is escapism season? So it started as a fun TikTok trend, and people just focusing on themselves, like not giving a shit about everything that's happening outside, to really take a step back, go inward, focus on yourself, focus on becoming the best version of yourself. So this is really the dark time of the year where you can choose if you want to scroll Netflix all fall and winter, or if you want to take this time to really go inward and remove the resistance. Sorry, I got interrupted by a notification, but it seems all good. So you can choose if you really want to like spend this time distracting yourself with other things, or if you want to take this time, go inward and become the best version of yourself. So what you can expect during this season is that I want you to really go inward. I want you to be able to work on your patterns, see what tensions you have in the body that needs to be released. I want you to go over your beliefs that you have running in the background on autopilot. I am not good enough. I can't do this. Start to notice all of these patterns. And I want you to go into the body and start releasing the resistance that is blocking your growth, your creativity, and really what helps you create this momentum of working towards your dreams. And this work that we're doing, it's the work that creates real change. I don't want you to focus on quick fixes. A lot of people create like a really intense workout routine. They start having a really strict diet when they're doing the inner work, but that's just temporary fixes. It's not going to heal what's behind you taking all these bad decisions. So, as you start doing this work, you are starting creating capacity to expand yourself. And you're doing that when you're starting to release all the resistance that you have in your body and your mind. And during this season, I really recommend working on your nervous system to start regulating that more, especially if you've been during a lot of stress the last months, years even. Then you have a lot of dysregulation in your system that needs to be regulated. Because it's really hard for the body to start having that energy to move forward when your body is stuck in a stress response. So, one of the most common reasons why people haven't reached their goals yet is because you feel resistance. So, resistance can show up in many different ways, especially individually. For some people, it might show up in one way, for other people, a different way. And it's really good if you can start recognizing when you feel resistance. Do you feel scared? Do you feel not capable enough? Do you feel that you could do it, but you just haven't done it yet? Then why haven't you done it yet? And you can choose whatever work that you have as your goal for this season, but in general, it all comes back to resistance. So, the reason why you have that resistance is because your brain wants to keep you safe. So, your brain is wired to repeat familiar patterns. Whenever you go out of your comfort zone, it wants to retract you back to safety, just like a rubber band. So, you try to take a few steps forward, and then it retracts you back again. And then you try again, and then it retracts you back again. So it's when you learn to allow your body to feel safe as you're moving forward that that rubber band will stretch and become longer and you will move forward. Another way that you will have resistance is that you have experiences in the past that you haven't processed yet. So all of these experiences are draining your energy. So all of this is happening in the background without you even noticing it. So as you are trying to be brave and move forward, you have experiences in the past that your brain remembers. So instead of using that energy to create and like do these things, it's really limiting your ability to create that capacity and that expansion because it's using up all of its energy processing the old stuff that's happening in the background. So let me see if I can think of an example. Maybe you're trying to become a singer and you remember your teacher telling you when you were little that you could not sing, like you're a bad singer. So as you try to build your career, without even realizing, you have that little voice talking to you in the background, saying that you're not good enough, you can't do this, no one's going to care if you start singing and doing this as a real career, and you're not going to succeed. And when you have all of these feelings in your body, it's really stopping you from taking on that full potential. So what we want to do is to process these old emotions so we can clear out that energy and use that energy to create instead. And it's the same with your subconscious. Like, it goes back so far without you even realizing. You might have something in your brain that's a script just repeating things that you're not even aware of. And that all comes from old experiences. So when we learn to rewire our brain and start creating new pathways of expansion, that's when you can let go of that old stuff and start moving towards where you want to go. So, as a somatic coach, what I recommend for this season is not to create a new workout plan and a new diet. You can do that if that's your goal to get fit. But if you want to do the real inner work that is stopping you from actually having that as a routine, um, that's something that feel natural, because you want to show up for yourself, you want to take care of yourself, you want to have all these good habits. But if you feel like you are starting and stopping and starting and stopping and not being able to be consistent, it's usually because there's something in the background that is stopping you, that needs to be healed. So the escapism blueprint is really heal, release, and rewire. So that's what I want you to focus on this season. So the first part is healing your nervous system. So you want to create safety in your body. When you've been stressed during a long period of time, your body can get stuck in survival mode. So that means whenever you're trying to do something that's scary, something that will challenge you, your body's automatically sending out danger, danger, trying to protect you and retract you back. But when you teach the body to feel safe, even when you're doing something scary, that's when it will release that resistance. So when you start healing your nervous system, your body will stop living in survival mode. So if you look at the image here, you can see the lines here. Like when you're doing something scary, or if you get anxious, worried, you're supposed to be able to have those feelings. They can exist too, but you're supposed to go back and regulate afterwards. So you do something scary, you get angry at someone, you get worried, and then you come back to safety again. But if your body is very stressed, it means that it can get stuck in either of these states. So either in the fight or flight state, or even in the freeze state, where a lot of people end up when they are not being able to take any action. So freeze can look like you are scrolling on your phone, you're scrolling on TikTok, you are binge watching Netflix for hours, avoiding, distracting yourself. And the fight or flight, it's really about like anxiety, worry, frustration that you're not moving forward. So when you start healing your nervous system, you can get out of these states and start to experience everything, but coming back to a calm state. So you should be able to do this without forcing. This is something that happens naturally when you start working with your body. So when you start doing this work, you will see that your energy increase, you will start to focus better, you will see all of your symptoms like stiff neck, or maybe you're thick in your throat. All of those symptoms will start to disappear because you're working with the body. So healing your nervous system is the first part of this process. And then we also want to release all of these tensions in the body. So whenever you experience something stressful that the body doesn't have capacity to process, it gets stored in the body. So if you get maybe yelled at in the grocery store and you just freeze, you don't have the capacity to handle it, that can get stored in your body without you even knowing it. And when you're going through a lot of stressful situations, maybe you've been in a job where you were constantly yelled at, critiqued. It was a really bad work environment, or it was just like in general very stressful. All of that stress can get stored in your body, and that's when you start noticing anxiety. You won't be able to sleep as well. So when you start working with the body and start releasing all of these things that are stored, you release all of the energy that is trapped there. So you create the capacity to use that energy for other things instead of processing the things that are stuck in you. So releasing tensions is something that will change everything for you. It will feel so different because you come into a different state of calmness, and your body will be able to relax fully after a long period of time, especially in the society that we're living in today, where everyone is running around and being really stressed. And the last part of this process is to rewire your subconscious. So, just like we talked about before, you are repeating the same patterns over and over again because your brain wants to keep you safe and it wants to use as little energy as possible. So, that's why it helps you to create habits. So, this is a video of a brain that's like rewiring in real time. So, whenever you start implementing new, better habits, there will be new neural pathways that are forming. Um, so, that's something that is really good to think about as you're starting to implement new habits. As you start to repeat more and more, the more focus you put on creating better habits that are beneficial for you, the more pathways will be created. So that's something that you will see when you start to create some consistency in your life, and you will really let go of all of that old rewiring that you had. Because when you're doing subconscious work, you are looking at your limiting beliefs, you are looking at all of the beliefs that are stored from childhood, from adulthood, and really what you believe about yourself, what you believe is possible. So when you start doing this work, success feels way more effortless because you actually believe that it's possible for you. And it is. It's just about removing the stories that you have told yourself for years and implement better stories that are more beneficial for you, finding proof of things that you have achieved so you are able to achieve this as well. So, the biggest mistake that I see people during this season is trying to force, trying to push, and trying to plan every single detail. When you are pushing and forcing and upgrading yourself 1000%, what happens is that your nervous system gets overwhelmed. So the problem is that you try to push and force so much that you can't keep up with it because your body says stop. So you start to judge yourself for lacking discipline. Why can't I be consistent? Why am I quitting all the time? And then you're putting so much pressure on yourself that it's too much for the body. Like you're trying to eliminate every single bad habit at once, and your body just says stop. Because what's happening here is that you lose all of your energy, you lose the consistency and your focus because your body gets exhausted. It's too much change at the same time. So you're really shocking the body instead of supporting it. You're implementing all of these hectic workout routines, which literally raise your cortisol levels and it puts your body into a stress mode. So when it's doing that, you can't lose weight, you can't keep doing your good habits whatever goal you set for yourself that you are trying to force and push forward, you will not see the results, like the long-term results that we want to see, because you're trying to force it and you're putting so much pressure on yourself. So instead, we want to have slow progress, and we are not going to chase things. We are going to start attracting them instead. So the whole escapism season game plan is heal, release, and rewire, because that's when you're opening up the capacity to receive things. So the results that you really can expect when you start doing this is that you're finally start doing the things that you have been avoiding for months, because you don't feel that resistance anymore that you used to feel. It just feels effortless. And I've been through this myself. Like before, I used to sit and force myself to write all these things, create, reach out to companies, and I was in this chasing energy all the time. But when you learn to take a step back and start attracting things instead, things will start showing up out of nowhere. You will start getting offers, opportunities, because you are not chasing it, you're attracting it. And you will be able to stay more consistent because you don't have that resistance anymore. It just feels effortless for you to take all this brave action, and you're building up that courage all the time while you're taking small steps towards your dreams. And you're going to feel really proud of yourself. It's going to feel like you're actually taking long-term investments in yourself, and you will see that long-term result that before you were trying to push and force into a short period of time. But that's what this really is about. Like, this work is about showing up as the best version of yourself and start implementing better habits that will last you for years. So we're going to get started now to start this process. And the first thing that you're going to do is start to set your intention for the season. Like, what's your goal this season? And then we're going to start creating your own blueprint for this season. So the first exercise that I want you to do, I want you to take out your journal or your notes app in your computer or phone and start writing down a few goals. And once you've done that, I want you to choose one goal, like one clear goal. So I'll give you a few minutes to start doing this now. I will turn on some music so we can have a little calm session. Try to just go back to your intuition and write down everything that comes up. Okay, let's come back and circle that one clear goal that you have for this season that you want to focus on. And then I want you to visualize this version of you. How do you feel? What do you look like? What are your habits? What are your daily routines? So write down a little description like it's happening right now. I feel like this, I look like this, I have these habits, and we'll take a few minutes to do that as well. Okay, let's come back. And then I want you to focus on what do you need to let go of? What do you have in your life right now that is not working? Maybe people that influence you in a negative way, maybe habits that you don't think are beneficial. Do you have ways that you're talking to yourself that you need to let go of? So I want you to journal a little about that. Make a list of the things that you want to remove in your life. Okay, let's come back. And then I want you to write down what do you want to bring into your life? What new habits do you want to implement? What daily routines? Do you want to add new friends that inspire you and encourage you? Or maybe people that you can meet within your hobbies that have more similar interests as you? And also, how do you want to be speaking to yourself on a daily basis? So, journal a little about that. I'll take a few minutes. Okay, let's come back. And then I want you to start creating your own blueprint. So I want you to start deciding on one small goal that you can do each week that will help you move forward. So either do the weeks up until New Year's, that could be a good start, writing out those weeks, or maybe until end of January. But I think it's good to do up until New Year's so you have like a little of a plan moving forward, and then you can continue afterwards, seeing how it develops. And then I want you to categorize these small goals and see how you can be supported. What can you do to heal your nervous system in order to be able to do these things? Could you implement a few habits into your daily routines that can help you heal? And what can you do to start releasing tensions in your body? Is there a specific routine that you can do for that? And how can you implement that you actually do the rewiring? Because that is one of the most important parts. And if you forget about that, it's going to be really hard to actually establish routines that's going to last long term. So sometimes you need to decide on a time every week that you're doing it. Maybe decide on Sundays or the weekend that you have 30 minutes or an hour to do this work, where you start to journal and try to figure out what's happening that you need to release. But really create your own plan for these upcoming months so you will stay accountable. And if you want more accountability, um, there we go. We can do it together. So I'm going to be hosting the Escapism season for the upcoming months. And I want to do it together with you guys. I want to be there to support you through this season and guide you, and so we can stay accountable together, because we all have a lot of things that needs to go so we can be ready for the new year, new routines. And if you do this work now, it's going to be so much easier in the next year to start taking giant steps. But before you can do that, you need to start releasing all the old stuff so you can move forward. So what I'm going to do is I'm offering the shift method for now as a premium package, but what I've done is kind of divide that program into smaller bits so it can be accessible for everyone. And it's going to be an ongoing like membership, so you can continue working together with me every single week. And it's going to be a membership that you can enter right now. So doesn't matter when you watch this masterclass, you can jump straight in. So every single Sunday, you will receive a session on either heal, release, or rewire. And I will circle these 3 themes. You will be able to learn all the different parts. And every Sunday, you will get a new video where you can keep learning. And then during those Sundays, I'm going to have some assignments that you can do. It's voluntarily. But if you really want to go deeper, there's going to be opportunity for you to do that. So these sessions are going to be a mix between somatic exercises that's going to help you heal your nervous system, and it's going to be a mix of theory and implementation. So every single session have a bit of grounding, releasing, and then a theme of either heal, release, or rewire. So as you're joining me for this season, you are going to be able to stay accountable, and you're going to get the support that you need. Because I know how hard this work is. Like, it's really hard to know where to start, and it's really hard to know what's going to create the biggest impact. And when you're not being guided, you're out there just trying everything, trying to find your way. But as you can join a process and we can do this together, I'm hoping that this will be a really good way for you to move forward. So some of the topics and what you will learn during these sessions is how the nervous system affects your success. We're going to explain a little more about how it's working and how you can start working with the body instead of against it. And you will be able to get breath work classes that can help to regulate your body. I'm guiding you through building the capacity for expansion, and you're going to get the daily reset routine that you can do. And these sessions are going to be releasing tension through movement. They remove the pressure to prove yourself is one of the topics for one session. And you will learn what the subconscious is and how you can work with the subconscious and start releasing all the things that are behind you. And you're going to learn EFT tapping, which is a really, really good way to start rewiring old beliefs. And we're going to talk a lot about money as well, because money is such a stigma and something that limits us so much. So as you start creating safety around money, you're going to be able to earn more, build new capacity for receiving more money. So money is one of the really important topics in these sessions. So these are just a few of the topics, but it's really grounded within heal, release, rewire. So it doesn't matter when you're watching this, as soon as you are done with this masterclass, you can join and you can get started right away. So when you're doing this work, you will come out of survival mode, you will get your energy back. And these are all things that I have experienced myself. Like after I healed my nervous system, it was a total shift. Like I can't even express what a difference it is because I got my energy back and I can wake up so calm, so relaxed. Before I wasn't able to fully relax ever. I was always hustling, doing things. But now I can take a step back and I'm actually receiving way more opportunities than I did before. And you're going to feel how clear your mind feels. You can focus better. And you will really stop procrastinating on all the things that you want to be doing because you can take action right away. So this process is something that I've personally experienced and something that I really just want to teach people because no one teaches you this. This is healing your nervous system and doing this inner work. It's so important and it's so beneficial. So if you're ready to get started right away, you can find the link in the comments that will lead you to my website, charlottejohnsonstudio.com. If you go straight to the website, you will find it under the shift method. So all you need to do is sign up and you can get started right away. And every Sunday, I will release a new session that you can watch. So whenever you sign up, the next upcoming Sunday is when you will receive the next session. And you will get everything on email. So keep an eye on your email. Make sure that you check the spam folders just in case it landed there. And if it does, you can remove it to your primary inbox to make sure that you're not missing any information. So I'm really excited to start this season with you. I hope you love this masterclass and that you learned something and that you set a few new goals for yourself. And I'll see you online. Have a good week.